this video, we're going to take a look at iterators in Java. So you may have noticed by now that when you're working with a list or a set in Java, and when I say iterator is usually iterator is a Java term, although this notion exists in other languages. It's probably very different in each language, and some languages don't have it. So we're going to assume that we're dealing with Java here. And in Java, I have a list interface and I have a set interface, and they come with, your basic operations like add an element and remove an element and get the element at a particular index and does it contain a particular value, and so on. And I don't want to list all the many operations I can do on a list or set because today is really about iterators. So I want to talk to you about the method that appears in both of these interfaces called where'd my cursor go? Called iterator, like this, called iterator, which returns an iterator of whatever data type we have. So if we have a list of string and we call the list of strings iterator method, we get back an iterator of string. If we have a set of string and we call the iterator method of the set, we get back an iterator of string. If you happen to know a lot about Java, or you plan to learn a lot more about Java, it may help you to know that actually the reason that both list and set have this iterator method is because they're actually both extensions of a common interface. Yes, you can extend an interface called collection in Java. And actually, it goes one level above that, although I've run out of room, so we'll just draw this in a very funny way. There we go. One level above that is an interface called iterable, if I remember my Java API correctly. And an iterable is any object with an iterator method. And anyway, I think what's really important to know here, though, is that if you have a list or a set, you can call this iterator method. It gets you back an instance of the iterator interface. What the heck is an iterator? So here we go. The iterator interface. Iterator interface. I'll write that out. In fact, everything on my screen right now is an interface. So of course you want to be very comfortable with interfaces when you work with iterators. Okay, what can I ask an iterator? There are three things. I can ask it, get me the next element, which will be one of these. It'll return an object of whatever data type we're iterating over. Let's see, next. Oh, do we have a next element? So that would be a Boolean operation. Do we have a next element at all? And there's also a void operation called remove, which removes whatever element we just get back from next. But rather than me talking about this, I think it'll help to work through some examples. So, example time. Suppose I have a list. Let's make it a list of string. And my list of string is going to be called, uncreatively, list. And since I'm going to run out of room, we'll do it on 2 lines. List will start out being a new array list of strings, which is initially empty, so let's add some stuff to it. Hello. Let's say, what's up? And maybe bye. Whoop. Alright. What's up? And I think I was about to add the value by, the string by. There we go. Okay, and now I go to use an iterator. So what does that look like? Scroll down a bit. That looks like this. I say, list, give me your iterator. Right? Stick them up. Give me your iterator. Okay, and I get back an object of type iterator, but it's not iterator of E, it's going to be iterator of string, since I have a list of string. And I better store that in a variable. And my favorite variable name for iterators is it. Some people call them iter. You tend to use them very briefly and then throw them away, so they don't need great names. And then what does it look like to use it? Well, if I say it.next, then what I get back is the first element. So even though it's called next, what I'm getting back is the very first element. So at this point, my iterator is going to say, let's see, hello. There we go. Why does it say hello? Actually, I think a picture might help here. right? Why does it say hello? Because hello is the first value in the list, right? So we get back hello when we ask for it.next. Let's have a picture of this. So somewhere in memory is my list. Here's my list, and it has those three values in it, which are not going to fit because I didn't leave myself enough room. Hello, what's up, and bye. There we go. Alright, we'll be more specific. That was bye with a capital. This was hello with a capital. There's no way I'm going to get what's up right. Alright, so this is my list. When I create an iterator, out of this thing, it's like an alien rips out here, and we end up with an iterator. What does an iterator look like? Let's draw it like this. It's got, let's see, some eyes. There we go. Maybe another eye. This would be better if I'd use the period, I think, instead of the O. Okay, and then it's got to be, let's say, a snout or something, right? So it's like it's quacking at you, and it's speaking, and it says, what does it say? It says, hello, right? Okay, and actually I'm going to draw it so it looks like it's coming out of hello, right? So this iterator pops out of your list structure, and you say next, and you get back the first value, and our first value was hello, so it says hello, just like that. Then we decide to say, you know what? Give me the next. So I call the exact same method again on the exact same iterator object, and this time I don't get back hello. What does it say? It's going to say, what's up? And is that because it's interested in knowing how I'm doing? No. It says, what's up? Because I'm somehow iterating down this list. So this monster that has popped out of my list structure is somehow hopping. I can picture it as, it's like it started on hello, and then it hops over to what's up, and then let's draw that as an arrow. There we go. Looks like it's kind of hopping along, and then we ask it. Let's ask it has next. What is has next going to do? When I ask it has next, it's going to say true, right? True. Where is has next? Oh, here we go. Has next. Because has next tells me, is there another element? And there is another element, because at this point we've gotten back hello and what's up, and there is a next element, and that next element is bye. So we get back the Boolean value true. So let's go ahead and ask it for next one more time, and this time it sort of hops along one more time. Actually, it's almost, well, I guess we'll draw it like this. I don't know exactly. Probably we should show the arrow as looking like it's between elements. So right now, in fact, here, I'm going to redraw this mess. So initially, it started out to the left of hello. Then we called next, and it ended up right here. Then we call, and it said hello. Then we call next, and it says what's up, and it stops right after what's up. Then we call next just now, and it's going to say bye, and it's going to end up over here, right? So bye. Okay. Now, what happens if we ask it has next? Do you have a next element? It's going to say false. No next, right? We're at the end. There is no next element. So false is the answer we get back. Just for fun, let's ask it, you know what? I know you don't have a next, but what happens if I ask for the next element? So we say it.next, and what do you think? It says bye again, returns null. No. Here's what happens. It jumps to its death. Like that. And it crashes, right? So let's write that like this. Crash. Right? You can't ask for next when you're at the end of the list. Your iterator will crash. So that's what it looks like to use an iterator, or at least that's the very basics of using the iterator. We haven't explored the remove method yet. So the next question that I will leave you with, that we'll explore in the next video, is, okay, but what does it look like? What would my code look like if I deliberately wanted to use this idea to walk down a list? So we'll see that in the next video.